A screen and court roll. They'll get it again.
Harris, Dickinson, it's a three. Tipped out. And now Harris will look to set it back up. Lob!
Now this alley-oop happens because KJ Adams tipped the ball back out to Harris. They got a new clock, but they didn't need 20 seconds because KJ snuck along the baseline, and he's been pretty impressive as well today. 45 between Dickinson and KJ Adams.
Adams with a dozen. And the lead is 7.
Good opportunity now, John, on a made free throw for Kansas to set, for Arizona to set up some full court pressure, which is why they've gone small with only Awaka as the safety man.
Bradley has had himself a game. Gets that one, and Jade Bradley with 19. And he's hit all of his free throws.
Three-quarter court pressure now. Remember we're in the Houston game right here.
Kansas up under a minute to go. And Bryant fouls Mayo.
Zeke comes in at 82%.
And remember, it was the first overtime. Kansas had Harris at the line shooting 2, up 6 with a little over 16 seconds left, and they lost the double overtime to Houston. That really,
it hurt.
Yeah, and it's sort of the starting point where you look at where it really seemed as if it started to spiral for them.
It did. It sure did.
And then, of course, a week later, they had a 21-point lead at Baylor and ended up losing that game. It was the biggest blown lead in the history of the program. Kansas by 7. Arizona got to get something at the basket. And they turn it over. Basar fouls Riley Griffith, 37.3 left to play. And a 1-and-1 spot. You're on senior day. And a win that Kansas needed. Bill Self's group, they're getting off to a solid start. They were preseason number 1.
It's going to be interesting next week. There will be somewhat of an underdog in the bracket. They will have to play on the second day and have to win 4 games in order to win the tournament championship.
Bradley up and under and scoops it home. 2 more for Jaden Bradley. He has 21. Timeout on the court. The lead is 7 for Kansas. Let's send it back to the studio, and we check in with Kevin Connors.
All right, Boog, and a reminder, Cooper Flagg, the National Player of the Year candidate, and a Duke team all but a lock to be on the 1 line, is up next to take on a North Carolina team honoring its seniors tonight. playing as well as they have all season long. If our game runs long, Boog, you can catch the start of this one on ESPN News. If not, it's next year on ESPN.
Kev, thanks. 31.3 seconds left. And the seniors today, how about Dickinson with 33 points, Mayo with 20, Adams a dozen, and DeJuan Harris, his usual steady performance. A couple of big defensive plays. 9 points, 9 assists for DeJuan Harris Jr.
I mentioned it earlier, KJ Adams, it's bittersweet. He's going to leave here as a beloved figure. He lost his mom about 16 months ago. Yvonne passed away of cancer. Very emotional time for this team. Dad Kevin's here today. Sisters are here. But one of my favorites, John, you know, we cover the league for a long time. They don't get any better than KJ Adams.
Great young man. Now the story here in this one, Hunter Dickinson matching his career high 3 points. One up ahead, and now
Not a foul.
Mayo, you do have to foul.
Yep, I think they should foul, but maybe not.
But now
Don't foul.
Yep. Bradley and Griffin. It's actually a shot clock violation and gives us a moment to give you our Phillips 66 player of the game. And Hunter Dickinson matching a career high with 33 points. And on senior day, he finishes with a flourish. Kansas wins it 83-76. For Hunter Dickinson, his 62nd double-double of his career. Franny, a good win for the Jayhawks.
I was impressed with Arizona coming in here for much of the game, but KU gets a little momentum heading into Kansas City, John. Very dangerous as an underdog.
83-76, the final for Fran Fraschilla, Chris Budden, our entire outstanding crew. I'm John Chambi saying so long from Lawrence. Let's send it out to Chapel Hill. Dan Schulman and Jay Billis. Fellas.
Boog, my friend, thank you very much, and welcome to ESPN Saturday Primetime. You're watching the ACC on ESPN. 5 weeks ago, 8 miles away, Cooper Flagg and Con Kniffel combined for 43 points. Duke beat Carolina handily. Tonight, in what in all likelihood is Cooper Flagg's only game here at the Dean Smith Center, the Blue Devils will try to lock up the number 1 seed going into the ACC tournament and the outright regular season title, but standing in their way, they hope, a team squarely on the bubble right now in the North Carolina Tar Heels, who are in desperate need of a signature victory. This is an ESPN Sonic blockbuster. So how do things look in the ACC? Duke is up top, but Louisville and Clemson are right there. Louisville has already won today. Clemson is up big early on Virginia Tech. If Clemson wins and Duke loses, believe it or not, as good a year as the Blue Devils have had, they would drop to the 3 seed of the ACC tournament. For North Carolina, as we mentioned, they desperately need a big win, a quality win, just 1-10 in Quad 1 this year. Hi, everybody, Dan Schulman and Jay Billis. Let's start with Cooper Flagg. who's really good and getting better by the game, it seems.
There's not been a better freshman in the country, and frankly, there's not been a better player in the country than Cooper Flagg. What he has done has been absolutely phenomenal, and with the maturity with which he has played, he is leading Duke in scoring, rebounding, assists, steals, and blocks. If this continues, he'll be the only player in ACC history to do that. He is a difficult player to guard, and he is going to be a challenge for 40 minutes, maybe plus, for North Carolina. But the Tar Heels over the last 6 games have played their very best basketball. 6-0, averaging almost 91 points per game, making 10 threes per game, shooting just under 50% from behind the arc, and 11 rebounds a game plus over their opponents. And Dan, rebounding has been an issue this year, but the Tar Heels are hitting the glass. If they want to run and get out in transition, they have to rebound against Duke.
Yes, it has not been the kind of season that Hubert Davis and the Tar Heels have hoped for, but yes, they can still salvage it, they hope, with a win here today. This is senior night here in Chapel Hill, and 3 players were honored before the game, including, there's one of them in Jalen Withers, including, of course, R.J. Davis, a 5-year Tar Heel, and what a magnificent run he has had in this program over the years. But right now, it's all got to be about this game. Carolina tested itself in the non-conference, played a very tough schedule, just didn't win enough of them. And as we mentioned, 1-10 in quad one, they need a win here tonight as R.J. Davis makes this walk in this building for the final time.
R.J. Davis has been a classy basketball player throughout his time at North Carolina. ACC Player of the Year last year, and he has been playing really well his last 2 games. They're going to need his best against Duke.
For more on UNC, let's bring in the third member of our team. Here's Jess Sims.
Dan, cohesiveness may be the word right now that everyone's talking about for UNC, but that hasn't always been the case. Just last month, after the 20-point loss against Clemson, Seth Trimble told reporters, guys, I don't think that they're appreciating the jerseys we're wearing, the opportunity that we have, and we're not coming together and representing this university. Well, I asked him, hey, what changed then? And he said, we've had to put our egos and personal agendas to the side, listen to what coaches say, and work together as one. He said, right now, we are playing as unselfish as can be. We're enjoying and celebrating each other. It's been a lot more fun, Dan.
Jess, thank you. And what a scene with Tip moments away. I tell you, Jay, you wouldn't know that it's been a bit of a down year for the Tar Heels so far. It's an iconic program. This is still a great rivalry. These 2 campuses separated by only 8 miles as the crow flies. You add up all that, it means something. But Duke's trying to lock up some very important things here tonight. And Carolina may be more at stake as they're looking for a win that might put them on the right side of the bubble.
North Carolina is playing its best basketball of the season over the last 6 games. And if they can continue that into tonight, they have a legitimate chance to win this game.
It is loud in here. The first game one-sided. Duke won by 17, and that score flattered the Tar Heels. The Blue Devils were up 32 in the middle of the second half before Carolina made it a little bit more respectable at the end. Carolina playing better will need a much better effort if they hope to win this game here tonight.
The key for North Carolina in this game is physicality. The Tar Heels have to be physical with the bigger Duke Blue Devils.
6 in a row, averaging over or about 91 points per game in those 6. Withers a good cut, but he couldn't handle the bounce pass.
Elliot Cadeau cannot turn the ball over in this game. That's his 102nd turnover on the year.
And he had 5 of them in the first meeting against the Blue Devils. And now John Gaffney, one of the officials, is going over to the scorer's table. Here's where Flagg was when he took the shot, and that is clearly a 3. So I would imagine, I saw John Gaffney talking to the scorer's table. Maybe they'll look at that at the under 16 timeout, but it looks like Duke will have a point added to its total.
And I think you can expect that Duke is going to try to go after Cadeau whenever they can, try to post them and use their size.
Duke with such positional size, 1 through 5. Their guards, James and Proctor, much, much bigger than Cadeau and Davis for the Tar Heels.
Yeah, bigger and longer. Boy, good screen by Venell and Lubin.
And Cadeau kind of turned it into more of a floater than a jump shot and left it a little bit short.
So many of Duke's rebounders can take it. You need to outlet it.
Like Flagg, off the glass nose, down to Cadeau.
Carolina needs to get out in transition in this game. Duke wants to make them a half-court team. Another turnover, just trying to make the home run pass.
Duke in transition. James up and good with the left hand, and the lead is up to 5.
There is no way after a turnover you set your defense. You are just allowing a run out, and there's no way to guard that.
And in the first game, Carolina turned it over 14 times. That in and of itself isn't a terrible number, but 10 of them were live ball turnovers, and the Blue Devils those into 19 points.
Well, the game was over at halftime. Yeah, whatever happened in the second half really didn't matter.
Cadeau draws a crowd. The kick to
crazy. You never want to say like, all right, put a fork in them, because like you never want to be the guy that says put a fork in them and then they come back and then you look like, you know, you got egg in your face. So here, I mean, I expect it to be closer. At least I hope as a basketball fan it's closer. I'm sure you would much prefer as a Duke fan that it'd be 35 points again.
It'd be nice. It'd be nice. Can't hold you. Can't hold you. It'd be nice. Yeah, I'd like for us to win in good fashion, but I also want a good game. I'm excited. Like I said on the show, audio wise, I expect us to get hit in the mouth. Right, I do. There you go, Nick. I got you on camera now. I expect us as Duke to get hit in the mouth, right? But I also expect us to hit them in the mouth as well. And actually, we did we punched them first, so I appreciate that. So, hopefully, we can get back on the swing of things. But, ladies and gentlemen, the game is back on, so let's tune back in, shall we?
This is going to be one of those games where I think UNC is going to come. Prepared, clearly prepared. Yeah, I've just got some.
The loud booing is that Drake Powell was just called for a foul. The crowd saw the turnover and maybe thought if anything, maybe flag fouled him after the pass.
Hold on, keep it there.
Saw the turnover and maybe thought if anything, maybe flag fouled him after the pass. Keep it there.
Yeah.
Saw the turnover and maybe thought if anything, maybe flag fouled him after.
Okay.
Tough. Bit of doubling here. Ooh, this stream went down. Ooh, this stream went down. When I say stream, I mean perfectly legal.
down, saying, calm down. Long way to go. Again, this is a Duke program because it's been a down year for the ACC. They have not been tested very much at all in conference play. They are 18-1, the only loss coming last month at Clemson. And the other two losses, neutral court losses, way back in the non-conference to Kentucky and Kansas. Knipple gets rid of it quickly and knocks down a three.
Well, you make any mistake on a switch, and Con Knipple's going to make you pay. When he's able to shoot it from the catch spot without forcing him to dribble, he is money.
What a year he's had. John Shire admits more of a facilitator than he intended or expected. A good scorer as well, a projected lottery pick. So much talk about Cooper Flagg, but and rightly so, but Con Knipple's had a great season.
He has had a great season, but just a defensive mistake on this cut. They called a switch. Seth Trimble called it, and R.J. Davis just couldn't get there in time. And off the switch, Malik Brown and R.J. Davis had his hands down, and Davis is too good of a shooter. And he's 9 of 15 from three in his last 3 games coming into this one. You give him an open look, he's going to drill it.
Yeah, hasn't shot the ball as well overall this year as last year or the year before, but as Jay said, really heating up when it matters the most. As Trimble now at the line for the Tar Heels.
Well, your point on R.J. Davis, this year he's faced so many bigger defenders.
Yeah.
He's only 6 feet tall. And last year, Carolina was throwing the ball inside to Armando Bacot. They could play more inside out, which they're getting back to. They're doing a better job of that right now. But it's a lot more difficult this season for R.J. Davis to find those open shots.
The free throws for Trimble, and it's a 2-point game.
But look at the pressure on the ball. Carolina has really ratcheted up the pressure early on in this game.
Knipple again, and gets the bounce. It'll be a 3 for Knipple, and the Blue Devils are back up by 5.
Boy, 1 step late by Ian Jackson, and just gives up that open 3. Again, shooting it from the catch spot. You have to force him to dribble it.
Knipple already with 8. Boy, Davis wanted the step back 3, regathers. Powell takes a bump. Trimble can't get it off from the corner, and it's 6 on the shot clock. Turnaround. And nobody on the glass for the Heels.
Boy, good help by Malik Brown there to stop that initial drive.
A foul on Cooper Flagg, and that'll be number 2 on him.
That's because of the ball pressure. North Carolina is getting into the ball. They are impacting the ball, and Drake Powell right on Cooper Flagg. He wanted him off him, so he just used that off arm for the discard right in front of the official. Easy call.
So with 12:53 to go in the first half, Cooper Flagg goes to the bench with his second foul. And you can see a pretty easy call there for John Gaffney.
Carolina running action in the middle of the floor to try to eliminate some of the weak side help.
Jackson on the drive, and the freshman lays it in.
What a beautiful play. Just driving past Malawach and getting past Isaiah Evans and using the basket to shield the shot block.
And the way he's shooting it now, too. What a dangerous scorer he is in so many different ways as Proctor quiets the crowd by knocking down a 3.
Duke has so many weapons, so many different guys that can knock down a 3, and about as efficient an offense as you're going to see.
Davis with a foot on the line and misses the long jumper. The rebound to Evans. Knipple just keeps going and lays it in, and he's got 10.
This beautiful hesitation move, and that's another example of whomever gets the rebound. You know, that was a quick outlet, but there's so many different guys that can bring the ball up and initiate. That makes it really difficult to stop Duke in transition.
Knipple had a great first game against Carolina back at Cameron, 22 points and 5 assists. Jackson will put it up and hits. It's a 3 for Jackson.
Over his last 6, Ian Jackson is shooting 61% from 3, 17 of 28 before he knocked that down. That's big time.
Proctor, no. Tip, yes for Malawach.
Well, Malawach, that high ball screen was rejected. That allowed Malawach to just get to the offensive glass easily.
And Trimble pushing it down the court, draws the foul. And we'll be at the free throw line when we come back. Up and down they go here, Jay, with Duke now leading by 7.
Well, Kniples knocked down a couple of threes, and then Tyrese Proctor, just his second game back from that injury, rejects the ball screen, knocks it down. He is a solid player.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, what we're doing is taking a quick little hiatus because y'all hear there's a nice little commercial going on. But it's okay. You get to see me a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Y'all peep the Duke gear. Y'all see my boys. Here's the thing, right? We're doing okay. We're doing all right. It would be nice to be up a little bit more. 7 points. Was it 27?
Yeah, I think it's
24-17 to me.
Yeah.
So would be nice to be up a little bit more. But I'm gonna take it though. I'm gonna take it. You know what I'm saying? Nick, before I guess give any real decent analysis, do you have anything you wanted to say?
Oh, I mean, just sort of what I don't know if I was on audio or not. Just one of those things where I think UNC is going to struggle to string together runs because they can't string together stops. They're not a very good defensive team. Duke's got a lot of size. They got like a bunch of guys that are over 6'6" between Flag and Mawalak, and just so much size down there. I think it's going to be tough to get consistent just defensive stops that lead to offense, that lead to easy offense, those 4-point swings where you get a rebound or a steal or something, and then you get a leak out for a layup.
I don't think it stops the defense. I think it's more if your guards are pressing consistently, you get some turnovers, you can get a nice easy bucket that way. Defensive rebound, that comes to energy and effort, honestly, like getting good, clean box outs, getting the proper angles, like not constantly ball watching, like seeking the actual basketball to make sure your team can get the rebound. Like there's going to be somebody who's going to have to do that. Those hustle plays for UNC. So
yeah,
if they can get that popping
biggest
off,
issue getting defensive rebounds is that there's not a lot of defensive rebounds to be had. They're like ranked like 100th, aren't they, in defense? Like,
I mean, we're talking about rebounding right now. Like that's about effort. But same about defense. That's about effort. And again, it's a home game. You're playing for senior night. You know, I do think it would be nice to show a little effort, show a little hustle, a little heart. But we'll see what happens. Because when they show the commercials with the basketball games on, that usually means the game's gonna be coming up soon. So we'll probably slide back onto the basketball game, see what happens. But hope y'all all enjoying the show thus far. You know, as a Duke fan, it's rather nice. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So I just got to say real quick, because this has been a little annoying. We're dealing with some technical difficulty real quick. It's not on me, unfortunately. So bear with us a little bit, and we will be right back. But I just wanted to let y'all know what was going on. So apologize for the technical difficulties.
Smooth Kentucky bourbon, bold natural flavor, one satisfying sip. It's easy to enjoy a refreshing pour and mix a few more.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a question for y'all. Someone was saying, "Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. Duke is back to playing soon." So,
well, that's
unfortunately, that was
your opinion.
But we will be wanting to know what y'all are thinking about.
Also, we doing a debate now with this one. No, see, I'm not trying to.
There's a blueprint for success.
Anywhere you turn at Bay Hill, there's always bits of Arnold everywhere. He created a place here where the best players in the world could come and play a really elite golf tournament.
Play boldly, win fearlessly. History happens on the PGA Tour.
Well, John Shire's got to be happy so far. His team up 15. Here are his thoughts for his players in the previous timeout.
And look, they've hit a couple shots doing what they said, what we said they're going to do. So Jackson and Davis, step back threes. Cano, what's he going to do? He's going to bring it to you. Let's be smart about who we're guarding. We've had some good possessions. We can't give him the life out of all.
Exactly who he is, and done a fabulous job. And he has integrated transfers into the culture. They've been spectacular, but what he's done in his 3 years has been nothing short of remarkable. And thus far in the game, and Duke's game plan is going exactly as they would have hoped. They've taken North Carolina out of transition, and they've made the Tar Heels into a half-court team. And they're dominating the glass. Duke has 10 rebounds in this game. They've got 2 offensive rebounds. They haven't missed many shots. I mean, heck, they're 12 of 16, so it's tough to get shots.
And they've added 10, now make it 8 points to their lead since Cooper Flagg went to the bench with 2 fouls with 12:53 to go. That was Withers with the lay-in for the Heels.
And that's what North Carolina needs to do more of. They've got to attack the paint.
Patrick Gungba into the game with Malik Brown sitting with his second.
And North Carolina's only got 2 rebounds in this game.
The nipple no, tipped into the hands of Davis. The pull-up 3 goes.
And when you tip the ball back out, you may think you're tipping it to a teammate, but you can also start Carolina's transition. That's really the first transition basket North Carolina's had in this game.
And it's gone from 15 to 10 since the last time out. Good ball pressure by Trimble. The nipple into traffic. The kick to Gillis. Got it.
That is a great pass and a terrific job by Mason Gillis of positioning himself in the corner where Knipple could see him. Got in the passer's vision.
Boy, Knipple helps you win in a lot of different ways at both ends of the floor. John Shire, when we asked him about him before the game, the first thing he talked about was getting all the 50-50 balls. He wins every battle.
I can't recall a pair of freshmen like Cooper Flagg and Con Knipple being this savvy of knowing how to play at that age. In North Carolina, you'd have to go back to Tyler Hansbrough, maybe Antoine Jamison, but they've just got an elevated awareness of how to play the game. Drawing three defenders, kicking it out to the opposite corner. Mason Gillis, the transfer from Purdue, who shot well over 40% from three last year, playing off Zach Edey, knocks down the open corner three.
And really, we saw it from day one. Knipple was their leading scorer in the first two games of the season. Flagg was very good early, had some turnover issues a little bit in the Kentucky, the Kansas games, but has turned into maybe the player of the year. I mean, from day one, both of these freshmen have shown that they were everything they were hyped up to be, and maybe even a little bit more than that.
Yeah, and Con Knipple, I think, has shown to be far more than his reputation suggested. He was a top 30 player coming out of high school, but he's far better than he was projected.
We will see if John Shire will leave Flagg on the bench for the rest of the half. Went out with foul number 2 with 12:53 to go. But Duke still got a double-digit lead.
A good pass ahead.
Good hands by Davis. Still Duke ball.
Well, Davis has got speed, but the recovery to get around in front and then knock the ball away with the right hand. That was excellent defense by R.J. Davis.
Younger looking for somebody to give the ball to. It'll be Knipple.
For the ball movement, Duke going side to side. The ball movement's excellent.
Good hands by Powell. Proctor still got it. Couldn't hit it, and it's Carolina ball. Davis end to end. And the rebound down to Proctor. Now Duke looking to run. Knipple. And it is still Duke ball as Cooper Flagg is now re-entering the game. Missed about 7.5 minutes. And Duke went from up 5 to up 11 while he was on the bench.
Coaches like to keep a starter on the bench with 2 fouls until the second half, but I think John Shire believes why play the best possible defense on your best player by having him on the bench. Take the risk.
Still belongs to the Blue Devils.
Like Drake Powell is a good defender. He's got size, length, athleticism, and playing the 3 puts him with better matchups. He was at a matchup disadvantage when he had to play small ball 4.
Withers and Van Allen Lubin, the 2 big guys, front court players who start and are in the game right now for Carolina. Flagg the pull-up, no, and Withers comes down for the rebound.
A nice job by Drake Powell of switching out to challenge that shot.
Withers goes by Malawat, scoops it up and in, and it's down to single digits.
The ball is moving better for North Carolina in the last several possessions, and they're getting drives and getting to the rim.
James out of bounds, still Duke ball.
Boy, terrific back cut by Sion James, but here's Withers. When he catches it just with that left-hand drive, getting back to the right hand, just going right by Kaman Malawat. And then Cooper Flagg didn't want to pick up that 3rd foul.
Flagg trying to drive on Withers. The pull-up will go.
How much game does he have? And he doesn't turn the ball over. His last 6 games, 30 assists, 3 turnovers. I'm not good at math, but that's 10-to-1 assist to turnover ratio.
Well
That's amazing.
What a player of the year race. So what an award race it has been. By the way, Janai Broome scored 34 today for Auburn, although it was Alabama winning at Auburn in overtime on a runner by Mark Sears as time expired. But Broome, Flag, who you got? It's like it changes every day.
Well, I thought Ben Allen Lubin was right there to tip that ball in. Thought he got fouled.
Tipped out. Here comes Trimble. Going at Flag. And the follow by Lubin.
Smart play by Trimble to go right at Flag. Force him to foul you or back off.
Boy, Ben Allen Lubin's been playing well for the Tar Heels. Last 5, better than 13 points per game, almost 7 rebounds per game, and it's Carolina ball again.
Now Carolina's getting out in transition. That's where they're dangerous.
Powell for 3. And Flag down with the rebound for the Blue Devils. A pretty good look for Drake Powell, who's shooting 40% on the season from three-point range.
Well, this is an important last 3.5 minutes for North Carolina. Can they cut into this lead or can Duke extend it?
Flag the drive and an offensive foul. It is number 3 on Cooper Flag.
Withers was standing there for a long time. Surprised that Cooper Flag didn't pull up. That is a huge play by Jalen Withers. Cooper Flag, Jalen Withers was right there and set. Really surprised that Cooper Flag took that chance with 2 fouls.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So y'all know what I'm about to say. For starters, I am a little perturbed. Like, I'm a little bit hurt right now, bro. But that's Coop, our best player. 3 fouls. I'm not saying we're not gonna win the game. I'm just saying it's blowing me right now. He's in foul trouble. So what I am looking forward to is seeing how my boys do battle over the next couple minutes. Because yeah, we could make this a little. Or they could. UNC could make this a little closer. They could. They really truly could. But again, I'm expecting us to keep the distance at bay. John Shire, this is time where Duke fans should be judging you a little bit. We get to see what you come up with, right? You're not just relying on your superstar. Even though we do have a very talented team, and we still have the height difference too. But yeah, we're going to be judging you right now in these type of moments. So I hope you do it. Hope you earn your money today, sir. Fellas, did y'all Devin? By the way, ladies and gentlemen, y'all know Devin. Did y'all have anything that y'all wanted to say?
I just think that last play on Flag is literally expressed by my sweatshirt. Damn. So we'll see what happens.
They didn't see it because the graphics over, but okay, appreciate you.
On that play, look at that. This is the play right there. Damn. There you go. Now they saw it.
Nick.
Next time, don't have the graphic right in the back corner.
Right. Nick, how about yourself?
I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how careful they are about Cooper Flag at this moment. There's about
I need you to speak up since you're back there.
My fault. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with Cooper Flag, how much they trust him to not pick up extra fouls. I think with 4 minutes left, you probably have to sit him for the rest of the half. We'll see how early they bring him in the third quarter. Or
second half. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. That second half. But yeah. It was just a silly play. I think Cooper would have been much better off pulling up for a jumper than trying to draw some blocking foul there.
Stuff happens, but yeah,
it happens.
But you're not wrong. Like hindsight, it would have been nice if Coop got it, but my Blue Devils, we about to get the job done. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's tune back in and see exactly what's going to happen.
Will and Coach.
Thanks, Dan. So, Seth, what do you like so far about UNC's energy and not giving up, and what do they need to do to go on a run?
Well, Carolina's got more aggressive defensively, more disruptive defensively, which enables them to get out in transition and play against that set Duke defense. That will be the key for the rest of this game if they're going to have a chance to win.
And Jay, offensively, if you were UNC, what would you do?
Well, obviously you want to get out in transition, but if you can't, I would try to drag Malawach away from the rim and continue to attack that individual ISO because it forces the defense to collapse, and that's when they can knock down three-point shots.
Thanks, guys.
Jess, guys, thank you. Again, what's at stake? If Duke wins, They lock up the outright regular season title in the ACC, and obviously the number 1 seed in the ACC tournament. And I think they would move a step closer towards locking up a 1 seed in the NCAA tournament for North Carolina. If they win, it would be just their second quad 1 win of the season, a win they desperately need to boost their resume. They appear to be squarely on the bubble, maybe on the wrong side of it, heading into this game tonight. Into Lubin, got his man in the air, hits, and is fouled.
North Carolina going with that middle ball screen, and once they got the switch, Venell Lubin did a great job of stopping to post Tyrese Proctor on the high side. And watch how he posts right here. That gave him a little extra room, and then Sion James couldn't get to him. If he went all the way to the rim, that would have been closed off. Really smart play on that roll by Venell and Lubin.
He's kind of been an underrated or underpublicized part of this recent winning streak for the Tar Heels. We told you the numbers his last 5 games. He's just a blue-collar, lunch pail kind of guy. He works hard. He's often undersized compared to the guys he's covering, but he's been really productive lately for Carolina.
Well, he's going to the glass, and he's done a good job on the offensive glass. He had a double-double against Virginia Tech, 19 against Miami. He's been a threat out there.
The nipple, another great look. He finds Gillis, who can't hit it, and it's closer.
After not grabbing any rebounds early, Carolina's now getting on the glass. And now they can put Duke on their heels a little bit defensively.
Jackson back into the game, into the corner to Withers. And a good decision to reset.
Carolina stopped turning the ball over.
Davis, another 3 for R.J. Davis.
What a player. That was as difficult a shot as you're going to see in this game.
11 now for Davis. At one point, Duke led by 15. It's down to 3. And a steal by Withers. The Heels are running again. Davis again. It's a 10-0 run for Carolina. It's a 1-point game here at the Dean Dome.
You were made to chase your passions. We were made to put them in a package.
Well, there's a reason why R.J. Davis is the 3rd leading scorer in ACC history. As tough a shot as you're going to get. And a terrific job by Venell Lubin of disrupting that lob with Kaman Malawach, and then R.J. Davis, a little hesitation, and that's how you take the ball to the basket. He went right into the chest of Con Knippel, knocked him back, and completed the play. Right now, North Carolina fired up because they have closed the gap, and they have done it, Dan, defensively. They've gotten into the ball. They've impacted.
Hey, I just wanted to say, ladies and gentlemen, this is some bullshit. Like, I'm not even gonna show y'all my disappointed face right now, but yeah, I am very perturbed right now. Like Hubert Davis can kiss the crack of my, you know what I mean? Like RJ Davis been in school for the last 10 years. They really are cheating. So I've heard a couple people say we need Cooper Flag back. All of y'all, I wish I didn't have this platform. I really want to say some things. I'm gonna just let y'all listen back to the show. And stop fouling, Tar Girls. Oh my gosh, it's a 1-point game, bro. This is disgusting.
Oh damn!
Because Hubert Davis wants his defenders to get into the ball. Pressure on the ball and physicality throughout the course of a possession.
Flag sitting with 3 fouls. He's played 9 minutes in this game. 5 points and a couple of rebounds. James driving, draws the foul, and is heading to the line.
Looked like it was on R.J. Davis. But there were a number of Tar Heels swarming to the ball. Just a strong drive by Sion James, and R.J. Davis just goes right across his arms as he's in his upward motion.
Championship Sunday tomorrow, when the women's game day crew will be at the Well in Greenville, South Carolina at noon Eastern to get you set for all the title games coming up. Highlight ESPN. The ACC Championship begins at 1 Eastern. It'll be NC State and Duke, then the SEC, and then the Phillips 66 Big 12 title as well. What an afternoon of championship women's hoops action.
Carolina's had some success with this high ball screen, getting the switch with Malawach. Now they're going to double.
Withers is open. Lubin tried to keep it alive, but Malawach brings it down for Duke.
Well, Malawach is 7-2. He went up with two hands to secure that rebound.
The ball screened by Malawach to free up Proctor. The long rebound to Trimble.
And that was a wide open shot with Carolina in drop coverage.
And a reset now with Davis. Got Gillis on him. Lots of time on the shot clock. Davis the drive, the pull-up, hits again.
I think he liked that matchup going against Mason Gillis. Just backed him up, got to the middle of the lane, pulled up a little bit of a fadeaway, and R.J. Davis is on fire in this first half.
Five seconds between the game clock and the shot clock.
A great job by Drake Powell to deny Concanipple.
James, no. Malawach, no. Carolina can get a last look. Davis. It will not go as an up and down first half comes to a close with Carolina taking all the momentum in the last several minutes and cutting a 15-point deficit down to 1 at the break. Jess Sims is with John Shire.
Coach, you guys led by as much as 15 points, but they, of course, just came back to get within 1. What do you need to change in the second?
I have a hard time hearing you. What'd you say?
You guys had a 15-point lead, but, of course, it just got down to 1. What do you need to change in the second?
I mean, look, it's what you expect. I mean, they're a proud program, proud team. You know, I thought we have to have some more poise, on offense, but, they're going to make plays. We just have to get back to guarding. 42 points is too much for me.
Coop got into some foul trouble early. How do you get him involved in going quick in the second half?
He's so wired. He was ready to go. We're always going to be aggressive playing with our guys, with fouls. But he needs to be smart to start the half. We're going to need him. He's going to play through it, and he'll be ready to go.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks, sir.
A much different game than the first one between these two teams back in the 1st of February. Carolina on a roll heading into halftime. They've got it down to 1 in this huge game for them here at the Dean Dome. When we come back, the halftime report with Reese and the guys.
Believe me, when it comes
I just got to say,
how you feeling, Trey?
Up 1, right? Let's talk about it. The moment Coop goes out, it's a wrap. It's not good Duke basketball. It's not good basketball across the board. I understand we're playing UNC. Ladies and gentlemen, I expect us to be a little bit better than this. A lot better than this, actually. I'm very perturbed. Seeing the boys not really respond well to adversity makes me troubled. One for ACC playoffs, we need our ass beat. That's what I'm believing. We need our ass beat in good fashion.
No Diddy?
No, I'm not even. I don't even care no more, bro. I'm talking about belt to tail. Somebody in the ACC needs to beat our ass. No bullshit. Also, I'm a little worried now about NCAA, right? If y'all notice, I haven't even mentioned my Duke ring. I haven't said nothing championship-wise. I'm not feeling it. Not at this point in time. We need to change some things. And again, I expect the UNC to do well early on in the game, first half. I expect us to have at least a 10-point win, double digit. And we were looking that way until Cooper Flagg got in the foul trouble. But keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, they played 5 fouls, 5. And he has 3 right now. So what does that mean? All right. That means they're going to attack Cooper Flagg all second half. That's 2 fouls that he's going to be trying to avoid. And keep in mind, he's an aggressive player. And he's young. He might foul out. I ain't gonna hold. And we look like trash in the second in the back half of the first half. So I'm concerned, and I would love for us to do a little bit better next half. Fellas, what's your thoughts going into the next half between Duke versus UNC? Because the score is a lot closer than what, at least I know I imagined. I don't know about y'all.
I mean, I'll just add to what you were saying. It's just a matter of, I think it's kind of like, I hate to use my Pelicans because they suck right now, but like the example of like when Zion Williamson goes out, right? And that team, when he's playing well, they own it. But then as soon as that one key player goes out, all of a sudden everything derails. And that's what I think Duke is dealing with right now. You had one key player, starting first team go out with his third flagrant foul just now. And you would think with Duke being the number 2 team in the country against an unranked opponent, right, they could still be able to like fill in the gaps and continue to keep that sure lead. And now we're going into halftime, and it's what? They're like up by 1 point maybe. So we're already seeing the aftermath, and we still have a whole other second half of this. Maybe they'll make some adjustments to see what happens. But this is where winning is done in the trenches. So we'll see what happens when they come back the second half.
True. Nick, how about yourself?
I mean, yeah, just going off of what you said about defense in that second quarter was like by Duke was just it lacked intensity. It lacked. I mean, obviously Cooper Flagg basically fouled out of the first half with 4 minutes to go. Clearly had an impact, but you've got you still have some decent defenders out there. You still have a 7-2 guy out there that can protect the rim a little bit.
Well, they made shots, so
They made
it's kind
shots,
of.
but-
I mean, UNC is, so it's like you're not going to rim protect on threes, but
If you're Duke and you have championship aspirations and you're giving up 42 points in the first half,
well, I mean,
and like most of those,
it's
I want to say like half of those,
some of these plays, bro, like some of these Jones, like look at this, ladies and gentlemen, like this, that's tough, like
there were some tough shots, but
unfortunate.
It doesn't excuse the lack of intensity. Like what did Coach K back in the day used to always say when they won their last championship? What was it, 2015? What was that model he talked about? The 3 E's: energy, emotion, enthusiasm. Where is that right now with Duke?
I can't say it was a lack of energy. I think it was a lack of execution. Because again, we're up 9. All you gotta do is make some plays, make a couple buckets, and then just defend. Granted, they hit some tough shots. Some shit rolled in. I don't know if it was a lack of energy, it's a lack of execution. But I mean,
but that could be tailored to the other one where I talk about where's the enthusiasm at, where's the emotion. Like that can go into execution as well.
We can't say emotion because this is a Duke versus UNC rivalry game. There's gonna be a lot of emotion.
Enthusiasm is the one I'm referring to with execution.
Yeah, arguably there's too much emotion maybe going on with Duke and sort of them playing
and maybe that's the case too.
Playing body over their feet kind of thing.
I'm saying if you lean more, and that's what I'm saying, if you lean more into the enthusiasm aspect, that in my opinion helps with the execution more.
Yes.
While keeping the emotion aspect under control.
Why do you say they're not as enthusiastic about playing? What did they do specifically that made you say that?
Again, I think it just goes back to we're talking about like the lack of like defense and like having that still controlling the game right now.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of they're letting North Carolina catch up and make this into a game when it shouldn't be. Mm-hmm. Like you clearly should be the better team right now. You're number 2 in the entire nation for a reason. Play like it.
Okay.
So again, it goes back to my thing, right? Just because you lose one guy in a certain lineup, like you guys should be far better from a standard standpoint with that next man up. Mm-hmm. That they should be well prepared to make the adjustments right then and there. That's what is the difference between those what we call contenders versus pretenders when it comes to the playoffs.
Right.
So Again, it's how you respond to that adversity. I think this team is too good and has too much at stake for what they're trying to go to be playing and allowing this to happen on the court right now.
Right. And that's that too, but also I was trying to figure out what you specifically saw about the enthusiastic piece. But I think second half, if we don't come out with like a level of aggression, then one, I'm kind of looking at Shire. And like I said too, I'm looking at Shire right now because you don't have your star. And we didn't do well with you coaching just the guys. You don't have your number one pick in the NBA draft on the floor. So, but that's our thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what some of the other analysts are saying. I'm sure they got a couple things they want to say.
Came up and stepped it right back. They played winning basketball. Alabama's team to go to the Final Four. You're going to lose games in the SEC. Alabama is that good. 3 teams from this SEC can go to the Final Four.
You know what? We're going to be in Nashville for the SEC tournament, and who knows who in the world is going to wind up playing for the championship there. There are a ton of them.
Come on, baby, get there.
Get the baby race going.
Finisher.
Won it, no, that was easy.
Dive on the floor, show some commitment.
You wouldn't know by looking at me. I am a cowboy, my friend. I'm forever out riding on the range of my mind, dreaming away all of my time.
Guys, still working, eh? Take tomorrow off. Keys.
5K fun run.
Say hi to Patty, celebrated social worker,
Who's coming in second?
self-appointed social chair, potluck, kickball, last call.
Sign up for Goat Yoga.
You name it, she's on it. And you have 47 emails to prove it. But her capacity to care is unmatched. You need Patty. Patty needs a retirement plan. Work with Principal so we can help you help Patty with a retirement and benefits plan that's right for her.
Good night, guys.
Let our expertise round out yours.
It's game time and shot clock is running down on Subway's $6.99 foot-long deal. Fresh sliced deli meat, fresh crispy veggies. Too much good stuff. Order now in the Subway app. Use code 699FL now. Deals only here until March 13th.
There's only one way to smash your goals while smashing nacho cheese chips. Cheating!
Woo! Cheat on chips with chips. Big on protein, low on sugar, huge on flavor. Quest, it's basically cheating.
Ma'am, you can't use our bathtubs.
CarMax has test drives. You can't have test baths.
How did you even get water in there?
Oh, take it back. I said beagle, not bagel.
Oh.
CarMax has a 10-day money-back guarantee. Why don't you?
Oh, because you need like lasers and stuff.
Experience CarMax and you'll never settle for anything less.
1 point game. Adjustments for Carolina.
I think for Carolina, it starts with physicality, ball pressure, same way they were in the first half, and continuing to attack those ISO matchups that are poor matchups for Duke.
Duke wants their defense to improve. Their offense has got to improve. They're going to work harder to get open, screen, cut harder, and reverse the ball and be stronger with the basketball. If they score it, they can set their defense. If they don't score it, Carolina's going to get out and run.
Just around the corner, maybe we'll have yet another classic finish in this great series. There's Roy Williams. You know he's got a rooting interest. Dan and Jay with the second half after this.
Your life is pretty smart. But when it's time to eat, suddenly you feel out of sync. Refresh your routine with Factor. Chef-prepared meals delivered with a tap, ready in 2 minutes. Eat smart with Factor.
We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Let's just get one of everything.
Everything.
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back. Yes, chef!
This is so nice.
3% cash back on chicken. Yes, chef! 3% cash back on risotto.
Yes, chef.
Where's my fish?
Here, chef.
Had a feeling you want to earn 3% cash back on.
Somebody get him away
All
from
right,
the
so
stove.
ladies and gentlemen, we are currently reading some comments on the screen right now. We're not going to talk about what screen, where the comments come from. We're just saying this is going to be the discussion points, right? Apparently, JJ was underrated. No, a bust. In a bust. Whoa, in the NBA?
Which is why I said that's
all right. Okay, hold on.
This person does have a minion as his
in terms of like JJ Redick being a bust in the NBA. If your expectations were based on what he did at Duke, you might have thought he could have been like Reggie Miller, Ray Allen, like that, like one of them. But like when you actually look at it too, though, ladies and gentlemen, you could include JJ Redick as a top 5, top 10 shooter of all time in the NBA. That does not scream a bust to me. So again,
which is again why I think that if you're going to say that, you're just fucking sorry. I think if you're saying that, you just don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I think like
if you feel like he,
I understand the point. Because again, expectations matter.
But it's not like he necessarily went below those expectations. Like you said, you can make a case. You can make a case that he was top 5, top 10 of all time. And theoretically, think of how many players in the history of the NBA have been doing that stuff. And he's to be top 5, top 10. That's not bad.
I'm not saying they're right. I'm saying if their point is they feel a bust in the NBA occur because you don't reach your expectation. Okay, cool. I understand. What if that's their thought?
That could be their thought. Okay, well, we can make the same argument. Think about it. There are guys who are in the NFL Hall of Fame that have never been to a Super Bowl or won one. But does that mean that they still weren't Hall of Fame worthy because they didn't get to the ultimate destination?
I will point out that only 5 players from that draft class played more years than JJ Redick. And also, if you look at some of the players who went around the 11th pick, yikes!
Right.
I don't even know half of these people. Who's
right?
Patrick
But
O'Brien?
JJ also didn't really get the All Stars, right? He didn't get the All NBA. I'm not agreeing with them. I already even said, hell, they wrong. But if that's their thought process, okay, cool. But make sure you're also consistent across the board too. Let me know. For example, Jared Sullinger then. Is he a bust? You have to say yes. I wouldn't say Jared Sullinger's a bust either.
Where was he picked?
He went 21st, but keep in mind too, though, you got to factor in he would have been the 2nd pick if he hadn't stayed at OSU, because he was going to be drafted that high. People were projecting him going that high. What's his name? Buddy out of Arizona, because he beat us.
Williams?
Yes, Derek Williams. Is he a bust?
He had number 2 overall pick.
But he had a decent career though, lengthwise too.
Yeah, but if I'm picking 11th and I get a guy who played more games than all but 5 players, here are the players that played more games than him in that draft: Rajon Rondo, LaMarcus Aldridge, Paul Millsap, Rudy Gay, Kyle Lowry, and he's 5th in that draft class in points.
I mean, out of everybody that you just listed, the only one that I would personally think stands out is Rajon Rondo.
Aldridge was like that too.
I'm not saying he wasn't. I'm just saying initially my initial pick of all would be.
Say the names again. You said Rondo, Aldridge.
Of the players that played more games than JJ Redick, Rondo, Aldridge, Millsap, Gay, Lowry. Rudy Gay was 2nd. Interesting. I would not.
No, Rudy was a hooper.
No, I know. I just wouldn't have guessed the game.
And again, I feel like y'all are trying to argue that he was not a bust.
No.
I'm not.
Let's remember, we're debating this off of a dumb comment that some random person.
Yeah. Also, number 1 was Andrea Bargnani. If anybody was a bust in that.
And and let's be real. I would rather I would rather have a player that's in JJ Redick's case and that's an NBA career or whatever versus someone like Zion, where the aspirations were He's supposed to be the next generational talent in the NBA, the next face of the franchise. And what has he done?
He's played one healthy season.
Not even. He hasn't played one healthy season.
I think it was like last year he played like
no. Yeah.
All right. Well, we have to go back to the
blockbuster match. North Carolina, they don't want to get out of character, but you want to put him in some screening action, get a switch, and then go after him. Nearly a turnover on the first possession. Proctor. Boy, used that left arm to shield off Powell and knock down the shot. And Powell still with a good rear view challenge. But Proctor really kept his eyes on the basket and concentrated through the defense. Limited minutes in the first. Elliot Cadeau because of a couple of fouls. Elliot Cadeau had a couple turnovers early. Carolina only had 3 turnovers in the first half, all of them in the first 3 minutes. Davis. Wow. Again. What a night he is having. In the last game he will play in this building. And Proctor was right on him. That little step back and knocked down a huge 3. It is all tied up at 45. Now Carolina with the switch. Van Allen Lubin now on Proctor. And R.J. Davis on flag. It's stolen away. Withers wide open. And Carolina has its first lead of the night. Well, Withers ran the baseline. Malowacz lost him. Proctor couldn't get to him. Flag will get the roll to bring Duke back within 1. Cooper Flagg is so skilled and athletic. Move to that left hand. He's just a big-time player. And as Duke fans well know, he's been an extraordinary second-half player in games this year. A tough turnaround for Drake Powell. A great individual move. Just planting that pivot foot and then pivoting for the fadeaway jumper. Carolina top locking with Sion James in the corner, forcing him to the other side. Tipped away by Cadeau. Davis, another one. A 2-pointer for Davis, and it's a 5-point lead. This is vintage R.J. Davis. Vintage. Great years for R.J. Davis as a Tar Heel and looking to go out on top in this one, Jay. And he is seeing a big basket, knocking down tough shot after tough shot. 15 points in the first half. He has been a one-man wrecking crew for North Carolina. 20 points in the ballgame for R.J. Davis.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Right? A little blown, just a little bit. One, please like, subscribe, comment, tell anyone about the show. My name is Trey. I'm the host of Get a Bucket. Hope you all are having a good one. But back to the quick little synopsis. Yeah, I'm not really liking that we down 5 right now. Granted, R.J. Davis, the professional college basketball player that he is, he did hit a couple buckets, and it's still early, right? Like, we got a lot of basketball left, but I did say I want us to come out a little aggressive. UNC looked a little aggressive. We did score now too, so that is nice, but I would like for us to be a little bit more dominant after this timeout, if we could. John Shire, yeah, we monitoring you now, because the way we ended the first half, very terrible. So, but ladies and gentlemen, we will, like I said, we will be going back to the game once it comes back on. As y'all see, I got a couple guys on the show. Devin, Nick, is there anything y'all want to add real quick before we come back on?
I get the feeling that if UNC wins this game, you're going to want John Shire fired after this.
Not fired, but like I have said for the record that at some point in time, like if we don't win a championship over the next, I do wonder if he will be on the hot seat, because keep in mind he has had a lot of good talent coming around. And he's in a really good situation. So, yes, it's hard to win. It's hard to win a championship. But Duke fans are kind of spoiled too. So I mean,
and that's what I was about to say.
You said it.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I would kind of push back on that idea just from the standpoint of like you could have like just because you may not get to the problem set does not necessarily mean that you don't have a good head coach. Like think of it this way, right?
I hear you, but
like okay, look, the 49ers this past year, like the 49ers are usually really good. They win what? They have what 6-7 wins this season. Does that mean Kyle Shanahan is a crappy head coach?
Well, they had
he's been in like 2 Super Bowls in 4
but
years.
Their team was a little injured as well. And they made a comeback. That's not John Shire's situation. Look at UNC, Hubert Davis. There's some people talking about how long would he stay at UNC? Like he has to win. And keep in mind, Buddy started his career by beating Coach K in his final year and then going to the Final Four and then to the finals. And again, you beat Coach K again in the Final Four. And we're talking about him potentially maybe could be losing his job. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So and that's UNC. Similar to Duke. We're both blue though.
This guy's
and it might not be fair. But again, spoiled fans.
And that's the problem. I feel it's like Alabama. You know what it is? It's like Alabama fans. It sounds like an Alabama situation where it's like y'all were spoiled. Y'all were spoiled with Nick Saban for what?
Somebody said we're not winning against. Oh, look at that.
Hey, LT, what's up, man?
LT right there. Shout out to Julius Peppers. Y'all know my Panthers. Y'all know how we do. Back to the show, though.
Panthers ain't shit either.
11 Duke turnovers in this game. Only 3 North Carolina turnovers. And the Heels have not missed a shot in the second half. Flag going to work on Withers. Right-hand drive, then getting back to that left hand. Just the skill and the strength. And Jalen Withers is a good defender. And size-wise can match up with Flag. But as Hubert Davis said yesterday, he goes, hey, Flag's a generational player, and a lot of coaches around America have learned that this year. Lubin in and out, and Amalawach rips it down. And that's the first shot by either team missed in the second half. Knipple to Amalawach. Got it back, kicks it out. And Flag is fouled by Withers. Cooper Flag has done a much better job in the second half of the season of straight line driving. He's much more assertive and decisive, where earlier in the season you might have seen him take multiple dribbles, then spin, maybe get in a little bit of trouble. That was just a straight line drive, and then his ability to move that ball to the left hand and finish off the glass, that's just next level. Into Flag in the corner. Go, and it's down to Withers. Excellent defense by Jalen Withers to stay in front, force the fadeaway. Duke's won 7 in a row. Carolina 6 in a row. Oh, how about the English from Cadeau? Past Malawach. What a finish by Elliot Cadeau with the left hand. Flag with Powell on him right now. Sets the screen to try to free up Doctor. That puts Cadeau on Flag. Knipple rises up for a 3. Rebound Powell. The Heels running. And Powell is fouled on the play by Sion James. And the momentum continues for Carolina here early in this second half. Anytime Elliot Cadeau drives, you want to make him finish rather than spray it out to open three-point shooters. But turns down the ball screen. Malawach forces him to finish, and Elliot Cadeau accepts the challenge with the left, majoring in English.
There's some things that work better together, like your workplace benefits and retirement savings. Voya helps you choose the right amounts without over or under investing across all your benefits and savings options, so you can feel confident in your financial choices.
They really know how to put 2 and 2 together. Voya, well planned, well invested, well protected.
What causes a curve down there? Is it Peyronie's disease? Is there somebody I can talk to or help? got